If you're booking follow-ups and nobody's showing, or you're booking appointments and you never get anybody to answer the phone, it's probably because you're doing something wrong. The client probably does not have that want or need to actually show up. We're about to show you exactly how to avoid people not showing, how to get more people to show up to appointments, follow-ups, make every appointment and follow-up count.
So first, what we need to do is we need to diagnose the problem of why they're not showing up, right? It could be because you suck, or it could be because they don't trust you or believe you, or it could be because they think it's not important. You have to set a certain importance in this. So the first step is not to just settle for a follow-up. Initially, we want to think that it's a smokescreen and we want to see if we can overcome it by just going through and keeping the setting, right? So, hey, I'm busy, I'm at work. No problem. This wouldn't take but a few minutes of your time. I have your height and weight as I need to verify you real quick. Your beneficiary's name is this, so on and so forth, to try and get them to continue down the path. Because you'll notice a lot of times they'll say it, but they're not really that busy, or they wouldn't have been able to answer their phone in the first place. Now, if it's a triple dial and they're answering on the third time saying, hey, I'm busy, I'm at work, I don't have time right now, you should probably be able to hear it by their tonality.
So it's important to understand exactly what he means. Blowing past the smoke screen, you need to understand why it's a smoke screen in the first place. When you're talking to these people, they're getting bombarded with calls day in and day out. So their first reaction is to try and get you off the phone. You need to try and get past that. Now, if you truly try and they are just insistent on not that they're too busy, then you need to accept that and try to actually book a follow-up. What we're going to teach you is how to properly book that follow-up and get more people to show. The numbers really should be somewhere around 10 to 15% actually show up. The rest, yes, you're going to have to dial, call over and over and over again. But there is a portion of people that you should be able to get back on the phone when you tell them you're going to call them. So the first thing that we're going to do is do kind of a role play so you guys understand exactly how it works.
We're going to do a what not to do. As the agent, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey there, I was just giving you a call about this request you filled out for the final expenses.
Yeah, I'm really too busy right now.
Okay, what time are you available?
I don't know. I'm really not sure. Maybe later.
Okay, so if I just give you a shout later this afternoon, you think you'll be around for me?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, I'll give you a call then. Bye. Thank you, sir. So in that example, you can clearly see that one, the client was not interested. The client didn't give the time of day, but the agent, maybe that's the first person they spoke to all day. Or maybe they've been hung up on 20 times today. And so just hearing the voice and not getting hung up on is like, oh, they're super excited and they want to like do the best they can. And then sometimes this is exactly what happens. You're just happy to talk to them. You hear their voice, so you just take them for their word because they're not hanging up on you. So that in that example, there's several areas where we could replay it, and I could have inserted separate words or questions that could have then gone past. So on this second one, what we're going to do is we're going to do a role play of getting past the smoke screen, just trying to see if it is a smoke screen or if it really is a true objection. So ring ring.
Hello?
Hey Ryan, this is Cody. I was giving you a call about that request you filled out for the final expenses.
Yeah, I really don't have time right now.
No worries, man. I was actually calling just to verify you. You had put a beneficiary down as Stacy, your wife.
Yeah, I think so. But like I said, man, I'm just really in the middle of something right now.
Yeah, no worries. I just needed to see if this was important enough for us to actually schedule a follow-up. Is that something that you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, we'll stop there. Because I don't feel like he's confident. I don't feel like I believe him, right? So then the agent would then schedule the follow-up. And I didn't want to continue with the example of what I would have really said because that's for the next one. Okay. So in that situation, the smoke screen I felt like was more of like he just didn't want or have the time of day?
Yes, essentially, you have to try and pull that need out. The whole goal and what we're about to show you is how to create urgency and the actual desire to want to show up to that appointment, to make them feel like it is important enough to take care of and that we need to get back on the phone.
So this third one, we're gonna believe the client and they're not having a smoke screen that it's really important, and we're gonna then solidify a scheduled appointment. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey there, Ryan. It's Cody. I was giving you a call in regards to that request you shot over for the final expenses.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I just needed to verify you real quick. You had put an email of Ryan at gmail.com and a beneficiary is Stacy. Is that correct?
Yeah, but listen, man, I really don't have time right now. I really need to get off here.
No worries. It'll just take a few minutes of your time. So tell me, how long have you been looking for something?
I think I've been looking for a couple weeks, but look, I'm in the middle of working on my bike here in the shop, so let me just hop off here real quick. Give me a call back later.
Yeah, I can schedule us a follow-up. Now I just needed to know, is this was you? I needed to verify it was you first.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was me.
Okay, and your wife Stacy, that's the beneficiary you wanted to list down?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I think that's the way. As long as we're still together.
I completely understand. Day to day, we never know what is going to happen, right? Um, Now that being said, I can schedule this for a follow-up. Do you have some time later this afternoon? I have a 3 o'clock available. Would that work for you?
I mean, it might. I kind of just got started on my bike here, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take.
Okay. Well, I also have a 8:30 tomorrow morning. I feel like that might be the best one for you. Give you the evening, get some relaxation in.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I think I should be able to get it done today, so I should be able to make 8:30.
Okay, cool. Do you remember my name by chance?
No.
No worries, no one does, but my name's Cody, so don't forget it now. I'm gonna schedule this tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna be calling from this number. So could you just do me a huge favor? I know you're busy, your hands are probably greasy, but mark this number down in your phone so that way when I call tomorrow, you remember who I am. Okay?
Okay, yeah, they're a mess. I don't think I'll be able to really save the number, but I mean, I should be available around that time.
I don't think you have Alzheimer's or dementia, so just don't forget about me, and I'll call you tomorrow morning. Okay, man?
Okay, perfect.
All right. Have a blessed evening. Good luck on the bike. Bye for now. So in that example, I think it was more of a give and take, right? I gave to try and get as much as I could, and I backed away to see how much I could take from the client with him not yelling at me, right? Or getting upset. I could tell, just I don't know if it's from experience or by tonality, that he was not going to be happy if he had to tell me he was wanted to work on his bike one more time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So keep in mind when you're trying to set that follow up that like Cody said, do you remember my name? Notice that I'm going to be calling from this number. It's really important that they associate you with something rather than, okay, yeah, we'll be calling you back tomorrow. That leaves no emotion, that leaves no intent behind it. You really need to make sure that they feel like, okay, this guy's serious. He's not just another joker salesman trying to get a hold of me and get my money. He's really trying to do his job, and I think I need to get this taken care of.
And that's why I'll reiterate a couple of things like verifying the beneficiary again, not getting rushed, right? Like they're in a rush, so that doesn't mean I have to rush, right? Like if they hang up on you, they hung up on you and they would have hung up on you anyways, right? So like that's a key point is we're moving at our pace because we're the experts and we're the ones providing the information. Now, if it's not the right time, then we need to make time. And if that time doesn't work, let's make one more shot at it to try and make a separate time. But if that doesn't work, I don't think any time's going to work. So you just got to be fair with that assumption of being comfortable with you agreeing that that's not going to work for you moving forward, right? You can't just be a yes man and yes, I can do this and yes, I can do that and I don't work at late nights, but they say 8:30 p.m. and you're like, yes, I can do that, right? You don't want to do those things because then you're taking away from yourself. On top of that, you need to be coherent in what they're saying. He's in the shop working on a bike. Do you think it would be smart of me as an agent to say, hey, can you grab a pen and paper and write this down and make sure you put me in your calendar? Or can you put me on the fridge? Or some of these stupid salesy lines that you hear people saying when they're talking about getting follow-ups secured. You have to be coherent of what they're saying and hear them and believe them and don't make them feel like you're calling them out or putting them in a position that's like, I don't have time for this. I don't want to do it. Right. So things of that nature, I think, are super important when it comes to setting the follow up. Either you believe them or you don't. So you have to make that decision quickly. And if you believe them, then it has to be a gut feeling that you're going to go forth with. And just, it is what it is. If they pick up, they do. If they don't, they don't. Like he said, we're not shooting for 90%. We're shooting for 15 to answer the follow-ups, right? We'll get the rest done on the one call closes and referrals and all that. But from this point forward, that's really what we want to look for.
Yes, always remember you should be going for the one call close. But if you have to set a follow up, push them. Like Cody said, you want to make them feel almost slightly uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that they want to hang up on you and not book a follow up. So, what we're going to do is try another scenario here where we're setting the appointment. We had a long conversation with the client, and they're wanting it, but something just happened that now they have to get off the phone. Ring,
And I'll
ring.
let you. Hello?
Yeah, hey Cody, this is Ryan. I was just getting a hold of you about that request you put in. You were looking into some options there about final expenses.
Yeah, I believe I was.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So just to verify here real quick, you put your email address down at cody@gmail.com and your beneficiary is your kids.
Yes, both of them, all of them.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Now we'll skip ahead to the conversation we've had. We found their why and so forth, and now we're getting into the quote. Yeah, so Cody, as far as those options go, which one of those makes the most sense for you?
I think I can do the 15,000 for the $88.
Okay, perfect. And that makes sense to you. You don't have any issues seeing if we can get approved for that?
No, no, no. I'm ready to get started, but think I might have to call you back just because I'm in the car and I don't have my actual account number with me.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, so usually most people do banking online and everything. I guess you don't have an online bank or nothing.
I do have an online bank. The only issue is that in the settings it doesn't let me it only lets me view the last four of the account number, but I have it written down in my Rolodex and I also have like the laminated card. I just don't carry it around in my wallet because I don't want it to get stolen. So it's at the house. I'm headed back now, picking up my son from football practice, and I should be back in about 25 minutes or so. Uh, they might want some food. So if we could do like an hour from now, if you don't mind calling me back, I think I might be available for us to finish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's not a problem. I appreciate you being honest with me. Yeah, no, the thing I want to make sure is you saw the 15,000 and you feel that that's actually comfortable for you, right?
Yeah, I think that's a perfect fit for me. If and you said earlier that if I wanted more, I would just call you back and we could add more coverage, right?
That's exactly right. I'm going to be here for life, so whatever you need, I'm always going to be around. Now, as far as scheduling a follow up here, I just want to let you know that I do have a lot of appointments this afternoon, but I'm more than happy to work you in. There's no reason why you're going to ghost me or anything. You're truly interested, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I feel like you're trustworthy and I can, I think I'm gonna get approved. So I just want to get it done and over with so I can stop worrying about it. My wife gets off my back, to be honest. So I think this would be the best thing to do.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to make sure. I don't want to be skipping over anybody else, but you've been really great, and I could tell that you don't want to leave your wife in a bad spot if something happens. So I'm glad that you're really wanting to take care of this. So you said in about an hour. Now you're certain that if you guys wind up eating or anything, you're not going to have to continue finishing your burger or anything while we're doing the application. You'll be done by that time, right? You don't foresee anything causing us any issues, right?
Yeah, no, I'll be at home and I'll be ready to go. If we're eating, I'll be at the table, but I'll have my accountant information ready for you. So I'll be
Okay.
set up.
Okay, perfect. And you remember my name, right? I know we've talked for a little while. You know what it is, right?
Yeah, you said it was Ryan V. Let with two E's and two T's, right?
You got it, man. That is exactly what I'm looking for. So when it
Awesome.
comes down to it, I'm going to be calling you from this number. I know you're driving right now, so you don't have to write it down. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to shoot you a text. I'm just going to put that whole number in a text so that way you can memorize that. Whenever you get home, make sure if you could throw me in there, so that way you know who it is and your phone actually rings. Because sometimes, phones get a little goofy, and if I'm not in your contacts, it won't ring. So can you make sure to do that for me so that way we actually get this taken care of?
Yeah, I don't mind. Is there a way that you can send me your card by chance? I have like a one of the other dads I'm going to pick up my son with. He was talking about this yesterday. I would like to give him your info if you're cool with that.
Yep. Yep. I will shoot over my card along with the phone number. So that way all you got to do is click on it and save it. Heck, even if you call me by accident, that's totally not a problem.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, we'll talk in an hour or so. Talk to you soon.
All right, perfect, Cody. Talk to you soon, buddy.
So in that example, we would say that I think that was a pretty good call, right? Like, yes, it was around banking, but I think the objector or the client gave really valid reasons that were believable by the agent for the agent to then not have to push and push. He pushed once, said online banking, I know you're driving, yada, yada, yada. But my response was, I think, valid. I don't think it was something that would say, hey, this guy's going to ghost me or he's lying to me, you know. So in that situation, I feel very confident in the resetting of the or setting of a new follow-up appointment to actually finish out the application. The client did agree to not only doing the app, but giving the proper information that's required on the application. So I don't see anything like I would say that's a pretty good solid follow-up. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah. So the thing I want to drive home is what exactly happened. So I reiterated their why. I reiterated how important it was. I also solidified the appointment several times by telling them the time and hey, look, be available. Making sure that he's going to be available and not just going to ghost me because he's still trying to chow down. I really Here's the frame of mind or the mindset you have to have when booking an appointment like this or a follow-up is if I don't talk to them again, if I make them angry and I don't talk to them again, it's the last time I will talk to them. So what's it going to hurt if I go all out? Now, again, knowing that fine line to keep them from getting mad and hanging up on you and then you lose the opportunity, obviously, you got to be careful there. But you also got to go into it with what is there to lose? Worst case scenario, they're not going to answer. Well, if you didn't book a solid follow up or a solid appointment to begin with, they're not going to answer anyway. So just keep that in mind. Your goal should always be to make sure that they feel the need to actually want to answer the call. So reiterate everything that you talked about. And if it's a short, you just if it's a situation where you just got them on the phone, then make sure that you really impress upon them your name, your phone number, anything that you can think of. Everybody's got great ideas. Come up with something new to make them want to show up to that appointment because it's important. These people are what we call first class procrastinators. So they will do everything they can to continue to push off and wait and think about it and everything else. So you've really got to hit home with them that it's super, super important to get back on the phone when it is convenient for them.
Yes, I completely agree. And I think that hits all of the aspects of like what's good or acceptable, what's bad, and what you should be looking for. But I think a lot of it is going to be trial and error. Like we don't expect you to watch this video and then tomorrow be perfect at it. But what we want you to do is we want you to increase that stamina basically day by day. And if you do 5% a day over 30 days, think about how much you're going to improve. So we could have follow-ups really tied down and in a better position in 5 or 6 days, like in a week, right? We can make great strides to be more improvement. It would be better if we scheduled less but closed more of them, right? And wasted less time doing it. So if you're going to get them on, you also got to remember to own it. You got to speak to them for 5 minutes. So it's worth taking a shot at getting past the smoke screen. It's worth asking a couple additional questions. It's worth making them reiterate your name or the date or time, or if they have the ability to write it down, to write it down. Because you're just buying time so that you can then have that lead to yourself.
All right, guys. So that concludes everything. Like Cody said, watch this over and over again. Really work on those follow ups. Don't be afraid to make a solid follow up or appointment. Don't be afraid to try and blow past that smoke screen. I'll leave you guys with this. Do one thing every day that scares you. See you guys in the next one.
Subscribe now to be a Fexpert. Do it.